Hello, welcome back to Distant Worlds 2. We're continuing our Teekan playthrough here. It is the Teekan Trading Company, and we are attempting to recover from our initial war with the Bascarans. So, the good thing is we went from 191 to 206 colonies. We've pretty drastically increased our population. But, one of the problems that came along with that is we now have a bunch of angry planets. So, if we take a look over at here, I mean, one of these planets is already producing a ton of money, Ecdaria, but there are definitely several other relatively new planets that are very much so in the negative, and a lot of that has to do with the population not yet being fully assimilated into our empire. So if we click around on some of these planets, I want to make sure to set everything appropriately. So let's apply this all to mangrove colonies. Now, I do have this set to automatic, so it's probably doing this automatically already, but I don't necessarily trust it. This doesn't feel completely right to me. Not for a continental moon, that's for sure. So continental should be predominantly human. Ecdarians could stay on there, but human, Akaro, not those guys. Yeah, let's just stick with that for now. Looks like we are still building some stuff. I am curious, did we manage to, I'm going to check this in a second, but, okay, deep ocean, all good there. Okay, that's good enough. All right, what do we need to look at? We need to look at mining. So Hexadorium, I think we gained 2 mining locations, which is good, because that's going to help with our production. Our stockpile is fairly decent. Even though we're negative production wise. Take a look at mining locations. Looks like we did queue up some stuff to build here. Never hurts to have a little extra Caslon. So let's go ahead and get that up and running if we can. Doesn't look like there's much down here we can do with anything. Alright, so that's good. Let's also take a quick gander at the fleets, sort by name. Yeah. And then are the invasion fleets restocking troops? For the most part, yes, it looks like they are. That's good. How is our economy starting to recover? We are up to 5 million colony tax. We were at like 4.7, 4.8 last time. So that's trending in the right direction. The research is not quite where we want it to be. Let's bump that up, make sure we're maxing that out, because that's probably the most important piece. Our actual research output is up to like 21,000 now, almost 22,000. So that's really, really helping from a research perspective. All right. This stuff is becoming much more reasonable as far as timelines. These attack shuttles are probably better than the bombers. Or, I'm sorry, than the superiority fighters. Let's look. Countermeasures plus 70. No, okay. So these are better. But we probably want to upgrade those at some point. They're both 3 years. All right, let's take a look down here. That's 6 years. That's a long time. Probably want to build it still because we need that population to keep growing. But I think it's going to be towards the bottom of the list. These are only 1-year techs or less. So these should be pretty easy to churn out. The optimized stuff, like this stuff down here, we'll have to crash research. So we'll save up some cash for that. There's another research tech. That goes to the top of the list. And can we afford to crash research that? I don't think we can. Way too expensive. And there's an Empire bonus Galactic Science Research Center. Okay, this all needs to be done like yesterday. So we're definitely going to work on that now. Omni-vector engines are good to have. Looks like we got some troop transports starting to try to figure their way out. As our economy recovers, I will scale this back to colony growth instead. Want to make sure to try to keep the research as maxed out as possible. Time goes on here, we're getting more and more income. 5.2 mil now. Our reputation may even turn positive, which is kind of crazy. I think we're in a pretty good spot here with invasion fleets. They mostly just need to fly around and start topping up on troops. I am going to build a new attack fleet. I'm going to try to form it from existing ships as much as possible. Suppose it really doesn't matter where I tell it to form. We'll top it up with ships. AF-06. And then we're ultimately going to make your home planet. Maybe we'll get you set up over here, because this is kind of where we're thinking of pushing forward in the future. Let's set your planet right here. Stop that. Go back to your home planet. Or at least ideally that's where you'll go. Okay, it looks like our funding continues to recover. Let's go ahead and scale that back a little more. Yeah, 5.4 mil now. So we're actually doing really, really well. Some of these planets, I think, are finally starting to turn a little more positive as the simulation ticks along. I'm sure some of the facility maintenance is ticking by too. So that's projected to be lower, which means some of our terraforming, I think, is completing, and then that cash flow is freeing up. Good. Everybody's pretty happy with us except the Biscarans. I will spend more money. That planet's really cheap. I don't mind spending money on that. What do you think of that? I will take that. We do not have enough money for this. I mean, technically we do, but it would be like every last dime we have. And I don't really want to go down that path right now. Let's go ahead and build that. Looks like we are landing with more people. So our growth rates should be a lot higher. At least initially. Do you have anything? No, you don't. Okay. What about... I feel like the Kantaris Horde might... No, they don't. Wow. You do have one. Wow, that is a lot of money. Alright, let's go ahead and buy that base. Certainly no harm in doing that. Colony tax is up to 5,600. That's awesome. We could lower this research percentage even further. We're still above what the maximum is. Not now. Alright, so 1.5. is our limit here. That income is going up really quick. That's very good. I mean, I'm guessing there's a reason behind it. Ecdaria seems to be the primary driver there. Huge population, not completely assimilated, but over time, as it assimilates, I think the cash value is going up. That might end up being one of my top producing planets down the road. Actually, I almost want to scrap all this and move it to Ecdaria. I wonder if I could do that. How feasible is that? Can I not build that now? Did I scrap that for no reason? Well, crap. Why can't I build that now? What the heck happened? Did I not scrap it? No, I scrapped it. It's gone. The tourism thing. But now I can't rebuild it. Well, now I'm afraid to do that because I just cost myself something for no reason. And I'm not sure how to get it back. I'm going to spend almost all my money to crash research. Just so it's quicker. You guys not want to go to your home base? I'll tell them to refuel there, and then maybe they'll just reposition there instead. We are very much leaking into the cash positive now. Which is awesome. Our reputation's finally positive. Taking the majority of the game, but we're getting there. 6 million on the income. Karis Horde taking over something from the Bascarans. These guys are fairly loaded up again. I don't think it'll be too long before we're ready for our next war. You know what's crazy is even though most of the planets we just took, like the 10 or 15 planets we just took, are not assimilated, we're still like super cash positive overall. Our income's wavering at going between 5.8 to 6 million, but I think that's gonna just continue to rise over time. We are maxing out on both research and colony growth, so there's no shortage there. Everything else is excess that's flowing over now. Actually have a little bit of positive reputation for once. How is the colonization going? I know we got a couple planets queued up here. Ooh, we got some independent colonies. I am not messing with those because, well, at least not in a negative way, because that was caused me a lot of grief. Very expensive. Looks like we got colony ships loading troops up. Not troops, just regular citizens. Go colonize these couple planets here. Fantastic. That'll bring me up to like 211. And those are just going to grow over time. I'm guessing, yeah, these white dots. Okay, so they have some rebellions going on over here, it looks like. Something must have happened. Probably a ton of war weariness. They've been at war pretty much the entire game. I know their species doesn't mind war, but we got another planet we can colonize over here. Gurky 2. It's not in our territory at all, but it'll, I guess, move us over in that direction a little bit. How are our colonies doing? Where's terraforming? Only 85. Go ahead and build some of these. There's an expense here, but I think it's probably worth it. We won't do all 85. We'll just do a couple. Try to move things in the right direction on some of these planets. Maybe we'll do 10 at a time. seems to be about what we can afford. I kind of want to do that one too. All right, we're good there. We know that one. That plan is where we just parked a fleet, and it is probably pretty damaged. No, apparently not. But it does have room to grow, so I don't know what the population migrants are going to really be doing anymore. I feel like they don't, there's no spot for them to go. Alright, these guys are full up. These guys are almost full. I'm pretty sure we got the tech for the better transports, or maybe that's on the list of things I need. Take a quick look. Yeah, army transport. Okay, so let's go ahead and design an army transport ship, because that will affect us. Expedition transport. So let's look at transport. I think army transport is the largest one. Little higher cost. A lot of infinite flux drives on there. I do feel like go ahead, latest per category and family. I do feel like a vector engine is a good choice to have, just because it can help direct with the maneuvering. But that's going to require us to add another crew system, which is fine. We have plenty of capacity for it. All right, let's get the right kind of shields and stuff on here, because this is Megatron shields are kind of garbo. Penetration ratio is a little different, but the recharge is very similar. Overall, though, Meridian shields have better ion defense, way better shield strength, better resistance. Overall, seems like a better choice. Right, dense hex seems to be the better option here. Maybe leave a couple ion just so that we can't get as easily disabled. All right, that's probably good. Can we get rid of one of these reactors? We cannot. We do need all of the reactors. Always like to try to strip them down if we can. All right, large troop compartment. Can we fit another couple? What's the defect here? Oh. All right, so we actually could cram several more troop compartments and assault pods on there. Might as well hold more troops. Troop Army 1. All right, so that is the new transport, which means there's going to be a bunch of retrofitting going on, which is just fine and dandy with me. Well, that was quick to start retrofitting. I might as well queue up some assault supremacy from burning pirates. Not a high chance of success, so let's queue up like 6 or 7 people to do it. We could do defense supremacy too. All right, we founded another new colony. Let's go ahead and build up. We got to build up there. Right, we got a fair amount of retrofitting to do here with the hopefully it happens relatively quick. I don't know why anybody's like retrofitting here on this dinky little planet. All right, we are getting fairly close to having this last research tech finished. Sooner that gets done, the better, because that's just going to make every other tech that much quicker. We're at 22,000 research output right now, so it'd be really nice to get even more than that. And one of the features of this tech. There's a galactic research center we can build that will give all research 20% across the entire empire, which should be a massive boost in research power as well. I did click through and do terraforming on some more colonies. So now we only have 38 that do not have terraforming. Hey, we made a little progress on assault supremacy. Very nice. Let's check how much progress we made. Not a ton, but a little bit. All right, we are still retrofitting a ton of stuff. Hopefully that's going to be done, I don't know, relatively soon. Except for whatever's queued up on this planet. I don't know why they decided this planet is the spot to be. But that is a massive backup there. Most of those got captured. The last one did not, though. Defense supremacy. Made a little progress there. Take a little look. Defense supremacy. Oh, made a decent amount of progress on that one. Kind of feel like I have to take these two to connect our empire together. And then just keep on pushing up in this direction. We did found another new colony. Let's go ahead and build what we need to build over there. Defense supremacy, we got it. Was that all of my spies? It does look to be that way. So let's go ahead and have a little conversation with the burning pirates. Excuse me, sir. Can I have my spies back? I will tell you about some stuff. And I will give you some money. What do you think of that? Hey, some more research breakthrough. That's always good. All right, 67 days before we see a research jump. 22.4, where we're currently at. Make sure our economy is relatively stable. It does appear to be that way. So at this point, I am waiting for these to finish retrofitting so that they can go through and scoop up more troops than the previous ones. A fair amount of retrofitting to be done there. Looks like everybody's currently occupied doing it. All right, another new colony in the mix. Go ahead and build what we need there. More towns seem like a solid choice for this planet. 13 days away from the big research. Let's watch and see how much it jumps. I feel like it's probably been 13 days, so I'm going to pause it and let the game catch up a little bit. All right, so that was a very minor leap, actually. It only went up to 24,000, unless it's got to retrofit something over time. All right, let's build this Galactic Science Center. It seems like a smart idea overall. Oh, it's climbing. There must be some retrofitting involved there. All right, looks like the majority of our troop transports are getting retrofit now. Once they are done, I assume we're going to have a lot more space. Yeah, these are all army transports now. So we'll be able to go around, scoop up more troops, fit more in our fleets, which hopefully translates to easier invasions. All right, now we're playing the waiting game a little bit here. Combination of research and waiting for these spaceports to finish retrofitting the transport ships, and then the transport ships flying around and scooping up the troops to maximize the amount of troops they have on them. Most of them are in good enough condition. This one's a little bit light. But I imagine now that they have these army transports, we'll see a lot larger troop stacks. Instead of being around 30,000, might be a little bit higher. I don't know much higher, but a little bit. How the old independent colonies doing? They pretty much all still exist. All right, we got our first batch of improved shield strength done. That will affect military power, which is good. We could add extreme mass drivers to the queue. That'll be good for the bombardment. All those really low-hanging fruit techs, we probably need to research those relatively quickly. All right, we are now up to 212 planets, which is a pretty big leap forward from where we were. Let's take a look at our competitors. Before we do that, did we negotiate the deal already? We did. All right, so Kintaris Horde, probably our worst competitor. Actually, no, they're not. It's the Gazurians. So these guys are a little bit tinier than me, about the same population. They have a little more cash than I do. We're double their research, and we're about half their military. These guys aren't even worth looking at anymore. Although they have a ton of troops on their home planet there. These guys were never really a threat. They actually are bigger than the Thyphira territory now, which is kind of crazy. Bascarans are continuing to disappoint. Ooh, what happened there? The Scarans took over a Kintaris Horde settlement. Very nice. They are at war there. These guys are still a single planet wonder. I don't know how they're still alive. These guys are my nemesis. So we actually are relatively close in population, surprisingly enough. We actually have a little more research than them. That's known military strength. I'm sure they have more military that we just don't have on our radar. All right, this continues to go up. I think a lot of that is a result of a combination of the initial round of terraformers finishing up, which is freeing up cash flow. But also, I think we're starting to see some more assimilation from our initial invasions. All right, looks like that's all done for the most part. So most of these guys are going around loading up troops. Yeah, we're at like 60,000 now. It's almost double the troop capacity than it had before. Pretty awesome. All right, well, with us being this cash positive at this point and having this many troops available, they're not all done, but like this is twice as big as it used to be, so is this one. So we actually have more troops loaded overall on our transports now than we did the last time we played and went to war. So I feel like we're pretty much ready to start going back to war. Ready to invade the Bascarans, do a little more damage to them. Hopefully this time around I can carry these troops forward a little bit better than we did before. I almost feel like I might need to wait a little bit while they finish loading up troops, because once the war starts, their focus is on invading and capturing. It's only when we're not at war that it actually takes the time to load up troops. Rarely, like once in a blue moon, they'll do it during a war, but I've found the pattern seems to be when you're not at war, that's when it goes around and starts scooping all the troops up and stuff. We are really dancing around a lot more cash positive than we were. That's 7.1 mil. So I am gonna go back over here, and we're gonna go ahead and try to do the rest of these colonies. Most of these are not particularly big colonies, but some of them are population capped. I'd venture to say a lot of them are. So if I do this, a lot of them will be able to start pushing past that cap. All right, this guy, I'm guessing assimilation. Yep. All right, did we finish building that research? I assume we did, because we're at 28,000 now. All right, well, that's going to be good enough for now. That'll help move the needle a little bit forward on the population. Get some of these super cheap techs up that are up top here. Queued up, ready to go. 29 days. Hey, non-aggression treaty. I'll take that. I won't pay you for it, but I'll take it. Okay, we should be mostly done with the retrofitting. Still have a decent amount of wait time on some ships, but overall I think it's going pretty well. Not a massive backlog. That is actually becoming really cash positive overall. All right, now we're really starting to rake in the dough, so we're clearly ready for another invasion once we get a little bit more troops loaded up. I'm actually going to go ahead and call it an episode there. I think we've made a fair amount of progress overall. Again, this episode was more rebuilding economy, making sure we're keeping our growth progressing forward, and taking the time to load the troops up. We redesigned our ships, and certainly they have a lot more capacity than they had before, which is going to be a net positive overall, because then we have more troops available to invade all these nearby planets. So in the next episode, I think my focus is going to be on trying to take pretty much as many systems as I possibly can. Although I will be a little more, well, hopefully a little more strategic about where we're putting our fleets, so that I can actually successfully invade. With this large of a positive cash flow, I'm not as worried about over time losing and becoming like super negative on the money. And I have a decent bankroll built up too, so all of those are good things, and I think eliminates the need of me to worry about all that stuff. This guy is heading back up to home base because he's all decked out and ready to go. So we got 1 of 7 ready to go, and then from there we'll monitor it until they're ready, and then we'll go ahead and launch the invasion in the next episode. Let's go ahead, pop over, look at the victory condition. I know we saw some of these independent colonies here, which actually I think there might be one more than there was before. So the Gazarians are still at like 63%. We didn't completely knock them out of the mix. We're at 42%, and the Kentaurus Horde's at 43%. So we are trending up in the positive direction. We're almost about to take over the Kentaurus Horde. I would love to take out the Beskarians, Thyphira, maybe push a little further at these guys, but we need to start making some real headway into getting over here, so we could start invading their planets and start pushing them back, and also increasing us as a result. So focus next time, I believe, will be up in this region and just kind of pushing in this direction so we could start invading over here. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel to see more content in the future, and we will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.